Hello students, so welcome to Distance Learning with Nripendra Acharya. So this video is related to grade 10 quadratic equation and graph chapter. Okay, and we have already done linear programming, and that video I have already uploaded. So this linear programming belongs to same category. Okay, and question won't be asked in exam from both linear programming and quadratic. So one question will come either from linear programming or from quadratic equation. I'm talking about long question. Okay, so if you get a question from linear programming in long question in or 4 marks or 5 marks question, then the short questions will be from quadratic equation and graph. So in that way the question will be asked. So this video is all about quadratic equation and graph, and plus there is a small portion of cubic equation also. Okay. Here are some algebraic equation, or you can say expressions, algebraic expressions. You can see this is one of the algebraic expression which I have chosen. It's equation. They are all equation. These are some equation, and they have a specific name assigned to them, given to them. They have their own name, and what are they? We will talk about it. Let's see all these expression, all these equations. So there are total of 6 algebraic equations, and out of these 6, few are linear equations. And what are linear equation? Actually, those equations with degree 1. Okay, those equations with degree 1, and you can easily distinguish those equations with degree 1. Degree 1, they are linear equation. Those equations degree 1 are linear equations. Quadratic equation, those equations with degree 2. Degree 2 are quadratic equations, and you can easily recognize those equations. And third one is cubic equations, and cubic equation has degree 3. So let's tally it. Let's bring those all equation where they belongs. And linear equation, you can see this equation is linear equation. It has degree 1. You can see the variable x has degree 1, variable y has degree 1. The entire expression, entire algebraic equation is of degree 1. So this second one, it has degree 2. You can see, so it belongs to quadratic equation. You can see the highest degree is 2. Actually there is degree 1 also here, right here, but highest degree is the degree of equation. That means highest degree is 2, so it is a quadratic equation. Another equation, third one, is of cubic equation. It has degree 3. The highest degree is 3, so it is these 3 are linear, quadratic and cubic. Now although this one, it has degree 3, you can see x to 3, x to the power 3, so it belongs to cubic equation. It belongs to cubic equation. It has degree 1. It has degree 1, so it belongs to linear equation. It has degree 2, so it belongs to quadratic equation. So let's bring to quadratic equation column. So out of these 3, we are going to study about quadratic equation first, then a small portion from cubic equation also. So first we are going to deal with quadratic equation. Now what is quadratic equation? You can see algebraic equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, and where a, b, c are constant values, they are numerical values, and provided a is not equal to 0. So remember this thing, a must not be equal to 0. If a is equal to 0, then this quadratic equation turns out to be linear equation. It will be converted to linear equation. So keep in mind, a must not be 0, a won't be 0. So it's called quadratic equation. Any equation of this form, you can see ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, c are constant, and a must not be equal to 0, provided a is not equal to 0. And what happens if a is equal to 0? You must know that also. If a is equal to 0, then this equation, the quadratic equation, turns out to be linear equation. So this much on this slide. So this is just a verifying a revision of the knowledge which we have already learned. Now quadratic function. Now what is quadratic function? We know about quadratic equation, isn't it? Now function. And what is the difference between function and equation? So let's discuss about it. Function has input and output. Okay, remember this. Function has input and output. You can see x is input, y is output. So y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c is a function because it has input, it has output. And equation, you can see equation gives the root. Okay, equation gives a root. It's zero, there is no output. It gives the root of algebraic expression, whichever algebraic expression is. It may be quadratic also, it may be cubic also. So equation gives the root, that means value of x. Value of x are the roots. Okay, equation gives the root, value of x, and there is no input and output. There is only one variable x. And function, it has input and output. So it has domain and range. It has pre-image and image. So it has range and domain, domain and range and domain, and pre-image and image, input and output. So that is the difference between quadratic any equation and any function. Now example, let's see the example of few examples of quadratic equations. You can see that these are the few examples. Y is equal to x square. Now this is also a quadratic function, and this is also a quadratic function, x square. You can see all the degree of all the function is 2. Okay, now this is a function, we have to call it a function. If we remove y with 0, then it will be equation, and if we remove the entire left hand side part, then it will simply be algebraic expression. So x square, you can see x square, the degree is 2, that means it is a quadratic function, and all the equations you can see are in the form y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. You can see here there is only one term, but this term can be written as, we can verify it as a quadratic equation in this way. We can add here plus 0 dot x plus 0. So this now is in the form y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where b and c are 0. We are going to discuss about it later on, characteristics of quadratic function. Now here it is totally in the form ax square plus bx plus c. Here b is missing, so we don't have to worry about it. We can write b in this way, 0 dot x. So all these are quadratic functions. Now let's see the graph. Okay, we will draw a genuine graph later on, but before that I'm going to show you a ready-made graph of quadratic function. If we plot this function in a graph, especially this function in a graph, what kind of curve we are going to see, what is the shape of the curve which we are going to see if we plot this first one in a graph. This type of equation we are going to see if we plot the graph of the first quadratic function. You can see it is y is equal to x square function. Now some key points on the graph. From the graph we can derive some key points. We can take some key points from the graph. Let's see what are these key points. Graph of quadratic function. Now the name given to this graph, this curve, you can see is parabola. Now this is the parabola. We call it from now parabola. Parabola is a curve, it's a graph of quadratic function. Okay, if we plot a quadratic function in a graph, if we draw a graph of quadratic function, then we get a shape, and that shape is actually called parabola. Parabola is simply a shape which is obtained only by drawing or by plotting, by drawing a graph of quadratic function. So this is parabola. So this curve is called parabola. In the graph, the turning point of the curve, you can see this is the turning point actually. This is the turning point right here. Graph turns from here. Now that point is called vertex. Now this point, which is the turning point, is called vertex of parabola. It is the vertex. Okay. from where the graph turns. It takes it's from here. You can see it is coming in one direction, and but it changes the direction from here. This point, this is the turning point, and it goes again to it goes to above. Okay, positive part. So this is called vertex. Turning point is called vertex in the graph of parallel. Any line passing through the vertex, now you can see the line which will passes through the vertex and parallel to y-axis, always parallel to y-axis and always passing through the vertex. Always passing through the vertex and always parallel to y-axis is the line of symmetry. Now from figure, I'm going to show you line of symmetry right now. Now that's the line of symmetry. Okay, this line is a line of symmetry, and it is see, it is right now it coincides with y-axis, but in other cases it may not coincides because the vertex may be somewhere in other coordinate. So at that time also it will be parallel to y-axis, but never forget it always passes through vertex. Then that line is called line of symmetry. Now this line is called line of symmetry. So it is line of symmetry. Now I think you have understood only three key points. The graph of a quadratic function. If we draw a graph of quadratic function in a, if we, and then the curve which we obtain is called parabola, and there is a turning point which is called vertex, and line of symmetry passes through vertex and parallel to y-axis. Now only these things you have to understood, and you have to remember the definition of quadratic function. It can be asked in examination. So let's move to another slide. To find the coordinate of vertex of parabola. Now we have to find the coordinate of the vertex, the turning point. You remember that turning point is called vertex, and it certainly has some coordinates, isn't it? In the previous figure, it was 0, 0. If you remember, if you can go back and see, it passes through the origin, and that means that turning point. It turns from the origin, at the origin, you can say, and that turning point is called vertex, and we have to find the vertex, the coordinate of the vertex of parabola. So to find it, we have to consider here. Now this is the standard equation of parabola, and provide a is not equal to 0, and we have to, this is our equation 1, and we have to take another equation of parabola in different form. Okay, now that is vertex form. We have to take, actually this is not a vertex form of equation, it is simply a standard equation of parabola. Now to find the coordinate of vertex, we have to take that same equation of parabola in vertex form. You can see, and h and k are what, h and k are coordinate of h and k are coordinate of vertex. Okay. We have to find the value of h and k, and where you can see where h and k is coordinate of vertex of parabola. This is the turning point. Okay, h and k is the turning point. We have to find the coordinate of turning point. Now from 1, we are going to reduce this equation. Okay, our idea, our concept is to reduce this equation in the form this equation. Okay, in the form of this equation. Second equation. First equation will be reduced to second equation. So let's take the first equation. Now first step, observe it carefully. Now in first step we are going to take a common from all these, and you may wonder, and this term and this term does not have a. That means it doesn't matter. Okay, if it does not have a also, we can take common. How we can take common? You can see a is common from first expression. In second expression, you can see we have to write in this way. If there is no common, and even though we are taking common, that means we have to write the value in denominator. So plus c by a also. So let's close the bracket. Now we have taken a common. Now our entire focus will be on these two terms, first and second term, and we are going to complete the square. We are going to complete the square. Now a in bracket x square. Now the second part will be, now we are going to complete the square. That means we are going to make 2a square plus 2ab. We have already a. We already have a. Now 2, you will see 2. A is our x. Okay, right? A is our x. This is a. This is a of formula. So a will be our x. Now you can see here plus 2. A is x, and b part is bx, b upon 2a. Now this x is used, isn't it? Now b by a, and we get 2 also. Now from where we get 2? Because we have used 2. We have written 2 ourselves. So to reduce to this 2, to decrease to cancel out this 2 and make the entire expression equivalent to this expression, we have to put 2 in the denominator. Understood? So this 2 and this 2 will be cancelled, and we are going to get the same second term. So what happens is this part, by knowingly or by without knowing, we have created b. Okay, this b is created as this circle. This circle is b. So we have to write b square in this way. So we have completed this square. See, a square plus 2ab plus b square right now. So we don't have this term, isn't it? We don't have this term here. So we have to immediately cancel that term. We have to immediately cancel that term. So we have cancelled it. This is the way, this is the technique of making perfect square. Okay. So the third, the last one is as it is. Now from first three, we get a complete square. A complete square, we get a complete square. It is x plus b by 2a whole square, and minus, we are going to open this bracket, b square upon 4a square plus c by a plus c by a. Now we are going to take LCM from the last two terms. A bracket is there, and x minus, we can write in this way, isn't it? X minus into minus is plus. So as I have already told you, we have to see here, we have to reduce our given quadratic equation, this one, in the form this, isn't it? So we have to make like this. We have to make like this, where our focus, our aim must be here, equation 2. So we have to make exactly like equation 2, and we are somewhat near of doing so, isn't it? So here right now it is x minus the, we have already found a x minus h whole square. So now it is only remaining to get k. From last two terms, let's take LCM, and our LCM will be 4a square, and this part is written first. Okay, there is plus, and you can see this part is written first, so don't get confused. Now what will be in the denominator? You can see it will be c into, c is already there, and into 4a minus sign b square. Okay, so bracket close. Now only simplification is remaining, equal to a, and so we are going to multiply with a. Okay, this a, both terms, this term and this term, both term will be multiplied with a. The first term, first part and second part, into a into the remaining one, 4a square, and here we can write 4ac minus b square, 4ac minus b square, and we don't have to close the bracket. So therefore y equal to, now you can see there is y in the left hand side, so we haven't written up to now. Let's write y equal to a plus, we can cancel this a and this a here and a square here. Now we get the remaining will be 4ac minus b square upon 4a, which is in the form, which is actually in the form 2. See, vertex form, which is in the vertex form, isn't it? Which is in the form y is equal to ax minus x whole square plus k. Now you can compare y with y, with a with a bracket, then x with x, and minus b by 2a with h, minus b by 2a with h. That means the value of h is minus b by 2a. Now c plus, and the remaining is k. So remaining entire this value is k. So let's write k equal to, and k is equal to 4ac minus b square upon 4a is equal to k. Now the vertex of parabola, which is h comma k, is minus b by 2a minus b by 2a h comma k. So value of h is this one and value of h is this one. So this is the coordinate. You have to remember this, and time and again we have to apply the formula to find the vertex of parabola. Hope you understood this, and it won't be asked in exam, so no need to practice during the exam time, but you must understand that how the formula is constructed. Now let's see another equation of line of symmetry, but formula is important. Formula will come time and again while drawing graph also, and for any other purpose also. So now equation of line of symmetry. Let's find the equation of line of symmetry. You need the concept of grade 9 here. Now this is the coordinate axis, and this is a hand drawn curve. Okay, it's a parabola, hand drawn, so there is irregularity you can see in the curve because it is drawn with freehand. Now this is y equal to ax square plus bx plus c equation. Okay, now this is the turning point. This is the turning point, which is vertex. Now this is the coordinate of that turning point is minus b by 2a comma 4ac minus b square upon 4a. This is the vertex, coordinate of vertex of parabola. Vertex of parabola. Now line of symmetry passes through vertex and parallel to y-axis. So you can see this is an equation of, this is a line of symmetry. Line of symmetry. Now we are going to find the equation of this line. Equation of this particular line. So this line passes through vertex. So we have to keep in mind it passes through vertex and parallel to y-axis. So if you remember from grade 9 that any line passes through y-axis is, sorry, not passes through, any line parallel to y-axis is, equation of any line parallel to y-axis is x is equal to a. Sorry, x is equal to a is the general equation of any line which is parallel to y-axis. So our line of symmetry is also parallel to y-axis. So equation of line of symmetry right now is x is equal to a. Now what is the another fact we know is this line of symmetry is passes through vertex. Passes through vertex means this point will be satisfied here in this equation. As the point lie on equation, it passes through the vertex. As the point lie on equation, then the point satisfies the equation. So we can substitute the value of x and y. As we don't have y, we can substitute the value of x. It passes through vertex. So this is the value of x and this is the value of y. So we don't have y, so we can only substitute the value of x. This way, that is minus b by 2a is equal to a. Now we have the value of a. We can substitute the value of a in equation 1. Putting the value of a on equation 1, we get x is equal to minus b by 2a. This is the required equation of line of symmetry. This is the equation of line of symmetry. See, x is equal to minus b by 2a, which is equation of line of symmetry. We're in very standard form. Okay, very standard form. So we have found the equation of line of symmetry also. We have found coordinates of vertex also. So now we can discuss about the characteristics of the curve. Characteristics of parabola means curve. Okay, now let's consider the equation of parabola, standard equation of parabola, y equal to ax square plus bx plus c. Now there are various cases. Now first case, what will happen if x is equal to 0? If we substitute the value of x at 0, then what we get, sorry, this term will be vanished, this term will also be vanished, so we will only get y is equal to c. Y is equal to c. If we substitute the value of x at 0, then we get only y is equal to c. or y is equal to c. Now c, y is equal to c, value of y is always on y-axis. Okay, when x is equal to 0, and if we get the certain value of y, then we plot this point in y-axis. So that means the curve intersect y-axis at this point 0 comma c. So value of x is 0. We get the value of y as c. That means the curve passes through this point 0 comma c, or it meets the y-axis at 0 comma c. So let's write it. C is y-intercept of parabola, intercept made by parabola with y-axis, and point of intersection is 0 comma c. At point 0 comma c, parabola meets y-axis. Okay. Now let's see in graph also. We can see in the graph in this way. Okay, in this way. This point is 0 comma c. Exactly, this point is 0 comma c. Now, second case, if this is the first characteristics, y-intercept. If in short question you can see the it may be asked as a short question that find the y-intercept of parabola. Simply, parabola question can be given in this way, like this one: y is equal to x square minus 5x plus 6. Now, and question may be asked, find the y-intercept of the parabola, the given quadratic function, graph of quadratic function. Then the value of c is always y-intercept, isn't it? So you can directly write 6 from here. You don't have to substitute the value of x as 0 and do all those things, because we have the result, we know the result. The c, the constant c is y-intercept, so we can write easily, isn't it? We can write directly also. Simply you have to compare. Now second, if a is positive, if the value of a is positive, now this is a, if the value of this a is positive, then parabola opens upward in this way. See this drawing here of parabola, it's the opening is upward, it's upward opening. So this sort of graph, we only get this sort of graph if a is positive. If a is positive, it can be positive, it can be negative. If a is positive or greater than 0, if the value of a is positive or greater than 0, then our curve opens upward. It opens upward, in upward direction. So we have the y-intercept also. We can get vertex also. We know about the opening also. So without using graph or without finding point also, we can sketch the curve quite easily. Okay, we can sketch the curve easily by knowing vertex, by knowing y-intercept, by knowing the opening of the curve. So if a is same case, if a is greater than 0 or positive, in the same case, then vertex will be the lowest point of parabola. You can see this is the vertex, isn't it? This is the vertex, and it is the lowest point of parabola. Now rest of the all points are above the vertex. Understood? So understand this thing. So this vertex, it is a vertex. Vertex is the lowest point if a is greater than 0. Now rest of the all point, whichever point you take from the graph, are above the vertex. So if a is greater than 0, then or positive, then vertex will be the lowest point of parabola. Now fourth characteristics, if a is less than 0, what will happen? Or negative value, if there is if a has a negative value, if it is less than 0, then parabola opens downward. Now if you are confused, then you can see here in this way. You can see it is a downward opening. In this way it opens downward. It is a downward opening of parabola. Now why this happens? It happens only value of a is less than 0 or negative. If the value of a is negative, then the parabola opens downward. Now from here we can get another characteristics also. If a is less than 0 or negative, then vertex, same vertex, will be the highest point of parabola. So I think you understood quite clearly that rest of the all points, rest of the points are below the vertex. So when this happens only when a is greater than 0. If a is less than 0. If a is less than 0 or if value of a is negative, then rest of the points will be below the vertex and parabola opens downward, and vertex will be the highest point of parabola, will be the highest. It is in the summit, isn't it? See, you can see it is in the summit. It is the top of the Everest. So the vertex is in the summit. It is in the highest point. So 5 characteristics. We have more characteristics. Characteristics of parabola. Continue. And let's see the standard equation of parabola. And this is the standard equation of parabola. And here, what happens when b is equal to 0? When b is 0, the second term is completely 0. Second term, there is no second term or value of b is 0. What will happen? The equation will look like this. Okay, so b will, if b is 0, then this second term will be vanished. It will be 0. Then our equation will be y is equal to ax squared plus c. Now vertex will be, let's see what will be the vertex. Now we have to substitute the value of b at 0. So b at 0. So b is 0. 0 square 0. So the first x part, x component will be 0 and y component will be c. You can cancel 4a and 4a. Then we are only going to get c. So this is the vertex, and with the vertex we can easily guess that vertex lie on y-axis because x component is 0, x coordinate is 0. That means vertex lie on y-axis, and c unit above the origin. As value of c is positive, we can easily guess that vertex lie c unit above the origin. Now these characteristics help us to sketch, in fact sketch the curve. Okay, we can sketch the curve without actually drawing it, without actually drawing by plotting the points, without using the points also, we can sketch the graph and correctly we can sketch. Now vertex lie on y-axis and c unit above the origin. Let's see in the graph. Vertex must lie on y-axis in this way, y-axis, and it will be the vertex. You can see it will be c unit above the origin, c unit. Okay, this is the vertex. So if you see any quadratic equation in this form, then you don't have to worry about finding the vertex by using the formula. You can simply write 0 comma c, and value of c you are going to get from here. Now this equation can be like this. It can be like this: 2x squared minus 5. Okay, 2x squared minus 5. Now this, okay, so let's write plus 5 for the moment. Now this 5 is the value of c, so our vertex will be 0 comma 5. It lie on y-axis. Now we can easily guess the equation of line of symmetry. That equation of line of symmetry will be this. Y-axis will be the equation of line of symmetry, and its equation will be x is equal to 0. As the value of b is 0, and in equation of line of symmetry you can see x is equal to standard equation minus b by 2a, and we don't have the value of, we have the value of b as 0, so this part will be 0. It will be x is equal to 0. So we can get equation of line of symmetry also. Now if c is negative, then vertex is c unit below the origin in this way. Okay, see this graph carefully because this graph will disappear and you will see another graph in this way. And if c is negative, it is the case of c being negative, and it is c unit below the origin. It is c unit below origin on y-axis, simply on y-axis. Now this is also very important characteristics. If we remember the characteristic, it will save our time while solving the problem, while drawing the graph also, and while doing other systems. Now next characteristics, here you are going to see characteristics of parabola. Continue. Here you are going to see both b and c 0. 7. When b and c both are 0, then what will happen? The equation of the parabola takes the form y is equal to ax squared. Okay, the function takes the form y is equal to ax squared because both b second and third term will be vanished, will disappear, or their value will be 0. Now vertex, if we find vertex, now we can easily write the vertex, isn't it? As b is 0, that means x part of the vertex, h part of the vertex will be 0, as b is 0, and as c is 0, then y part will also be 0, isn't it? If b and c both are 0, then we can substitute the value of b and c here. B 0, you can see b is 0, so from here we can easily write 0 comma 0, that origin is the vertex. From origin the curve turns, okay, turning point is origin, vertex is origin. Now that is, vertex is the origin. Now equation of line of symmetry, as we have discussed in the sixth characteristics, that it will be the same y-axis will be the, as you can see, the curve will look like this. 0 0 is the vertex, and an equation of line of symmetry will be x is equal to minus b by a. Now value of b will be 0. If you understood, then you can write directly also. It is x is equal to 0, that means y-axis. This y-axis is x is equal to 0 is equation of line of symmetry. So you can see this here, this line, it's the equation of line of symmetry. And its equation is x is equal to 0. It is line of symmetry and its equation is x is equal to 0, y-axis. So that is y-axis. Okay. Hope you understood these characteristics, and let's continue. Eighth characteristics. Same equation of parabola. See, there are two equations of parabola, y equal to x square and y is equal to 2x square, and value of where b equal to c equal to 0, and vertex of these parabola will be origin 0 comma 0, as we know b and c are both 0, and value of a of the first parabola here, this quadratic function, is 1 from the first and 2 from the second. You can see 2 clearly from the second. Now if we draw the graph of these two equations, then the graph which we are going to get is this ready-made graph. You can see now red is for y, red is for this one, the graph here is red one, and light blue for this one, blue. Now whose graph has the wider opening? Which graph? This equation graph or this equation graph has a wider opening? Wider opening. I think you understood mean by wider opening, narrow and wider opening. One, opening of y is equal to x square is narrower than opening of y is equal to x square, isn't it? Y is equal to x square has a wide opening. It has wide opening. This parabola has wide opening, and this parabola has a narrow opening in comparison to this parabola. So here you can see the first one is this one, this opening, and second one is this one. So bigger opening of the first graph, that is y is equal to first equation, that is y equal to x square. Y is equal to x square has a wider opening, and y is equal to 2x square has a narrower opening. Now let's conclude that thing. Parabola with bigger value of a, that means the second one has the bigger value of a. Value of a is 2 here, isn't it? Bigger value of a. If the value of a is bigger, then opening will be smaller. So this is the real conclusion of this observation. Y is equal to x square has a narrow opening, and then the parabola with the smaller value of a. Now if there are two parabola and their value differs, then the parabola with the smaller opening, smaller value of a will have the bigger opening, and the parabola with the bigger value of a will have the smaller opening. Value of a bigger, opening is smaller. Value of a is smaller, opening bigger. Eighth characteristics, last characteristic, when the value of a increases, if the value of a increases, then opening decreases. The opening of the parabola decreases. It will be narrower and narrower. It becomes narrower, skinner also. We can use that word skinner and skinner, and vice versa. Okay, if the value of a decreases, the opening of the parabola becomes wider and wider, vice versa. So we have completed the characteristics of parabola. Okay, let's move to another slide. Everything is going smoothly up to now. Example first. Let's see. Find the equation of a given parabola. We have to find the equation of given parabola. Now there is a parabola in the graph, and we have to find the equation of parabola. Solution. Now let's first thing is to find the equation of any parabola, we need at least 3 points. And if we have vertex, then one point will be enough. Okay, I'm doing this with the long method. You can do with the short method also. There is short method also, and later on in the video you will get that idea to do the same question with the short method also. Here right now I'm doing with the long method, and I'm assuming that I don't know the vertex of parabola. Okay, I don't have any idea about the vertex of parabola. If there is no idea about the vertex of parabola, then coordinate of the vertex of parabola, then we have to use the long method. If we have the idea, right now we have the idea, okay, this is the vertex, but I'm not going to use it. Okay, I'm just keeping it invisible, that I don't know the vertex. And if I don't know the vertex, I need at least 3 points. Now let me find 3 points from the graph. The first point I observed is minus 1 comma 0 right here, and the second point I observed is 3 comma 0, and for at the end I will tell you the short method also. You can try yourself and see this. Okay, I'm using that point, vertex point, but I'm not using it as a vertex. I'm just using it simply as a point which lie on parabola. A parabola passes to this point. Okay, you can take any other point also. So these 3 points, and we have the standard equation of parabola. Always remember, standard equation of parabola is y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c is the standard equation of parabola. Now in shortcut method, what we are going to use it, let me tell you, we are going to use another form of parabola, vertex form, is equal to a, this form, x minus h whole square plus k. Okay, now here we know the value of, we know the vertex. The vertex is 1 comma minus 4 is the vertex. So value of h and k is 1 and minus 4. So the rest of the process will be very simple, and we immediately get the value of a. And after we get the value of a, then we can easily find the equation. And after we find the equation, we can compare it with the standard equation, and we get the value of a, b, and c. Or if it is necessary, if it isn't necessary. So we are going to do that type of question also later on. Okay, so don't worry. Let's see the long method, and just understand that this long method is applicable. It is used if we don't have any idea about the vertex. Okay, in those curve where simply the point can be given, isn't it? Find the equation of parabola passing through these points without giving any graph, and at that time you have to use this method. So this method is necessary. Okay, you have to understand this method, you have to learn this method also. So I opted to do this example with this long method. So we have the first equation here, and this parabola actually passes through these points, isn't it? these points, that means a minus 1 comma 0, b 3 comma 0, and c 1 comma minus 4. This parabola equation 1 passes through these points. And at a minus 1 comma 0, that means the value of x will be minus 1, y will be 0, and we are going to substitute this value of x and y here. Okay, let's substitute. That is why we can substitute, because it passes, isn't it? Point lie on parabola, that means point must satisfy the parabola. The value of x and y can be used in the equation of parabola. Now here y is 0 and these are the value of x. Now let's simplify further. It will be 0, and now minus 1 square is 1, that means we can write only a, and here it will be minus b plus c. This is our second equation. Now again, at another point, we can check at another point also, at b 3 comma 0. Now here value of x is 3 and y is 0, and we are going to substitute this value in same equation here. Okay, all value pointer, because the parabola passes through 3 comma 0 also, so it must satisfy the equation. So 0, it's the value of y, and 3 you can see here is the value of x. Now let's simplify. 0 is equal to 9a. It's 9a, 3 square is 9. 9a plus 3b plus c. It is our third equation. It is our third equation. At c 1 comma minus 4, here value of x is 1 and value of y is minus 4. So that is minus 4 is equal to a dot 1 square. It's x, value of x, and this is y, minus 4 is 1, or minus 4 is equal to a plus b plus c. It is our fourth equation. Now first we have to think about eliminating some of the terms, a, b or c, whichever it is possible. So by looking at the equation, by observing the equation, or by focusing on the equation 2 and 4, we can easily say that we can eliminate two values, a and c. Okay, if we simply add, we can eliminate b, but if we subtract, we can eliminate a and c. Okay, did you understand me? What I am going to say is, if we simply add equation 2 and 4, simply add these equations, then we can eliminate only one unknown variable, that is b. But if we subtract equation 2 and 4, we can eliminate two variables, a and b, and we get the value of a. So we have to go for second option. Okay, second option means subtracting option. So let's solving 2 and 4, and solving by subtracting. Now this is our first equation, that second equation, that is a minus b plus c is our second equation, and our fourth equation, that is a plus b plus c. Now as we are going to solve by subtracting, and another line also, and we can change the value of this plus sign will be changed to, now it will be minus sign. You can see that b also, it is minus sign, it will be changed to minus sign. You have learned this kind of subtraction in junior classes, isn't it? Lower classes. So I don't think there is problem. The plus will be changed to positive. It's an elimination method. Junior classes in class 9, you have learned in class 9 also. Now we can cancel c and c, and we can cancel a and a. That's our purpose, isn't it? We did this just to cancel two unknown variables, and the remaining known variable is simply b, that is minus 2b, which is equal to plus 4. Equal to. Now we can cancel this. Now b, value of b will be 2 1 2, 2 2 4. So the negative sign will comes to left hand side, and b, value of b will be minus 2. Now from equation 2, we are going to substitute the value of b as minus 2 on equation 2. Let's see, 0 is equal to a minus 2, it's the value of b plus c. Now what we will get is, or 0 is equal to a plus 2 plus c. Now value of a plus c will be Okay, we get the value of a as minus 2 minus c. Okay, we take both 2 and c to left hand side and their sign got changed. You can clearly see sign got changed because they have shifted from their position. Now this is our fifth equation. Now we can substitute the value of 5 in which equation? You can substitute in 2. You cannot substitute on 4 also because 4 and 2 are already used. They are already used. If you substitute in 4, then you will get left hand side is equal to right hand side. So you are not going to get any value of uh, any variable. So remaining equation is 3. So we have to substitute on 3. Putting the value of a on equation 3, we get. Now let's substitute the value of a. We can write a as, that is, minus 2 minus c is the value of a, plus b, we can write the value of b as minus 2, and we have only a single variable left, that is c. We can get the value of c right now. 0 is equal to minus 18 minus 9c minus 6 plus c, or 0 is equal to minus 24. We can add minus 18 and minus 6 and we get minus 24 minus 8c. We can subtract 1. So 24, 8c is equal to minus 24. Value of c will be 3. Value of c will be 3. Therefore c is equal to minus 3. Okay, value of c is minus 3. Now it is remain to get the value of a. Now that I don't think that it will be any big deal. From equation 3, from equation 5, we have the equation 5, you can see, or you can use on any equation 2, 3, 4. So you will get the value of a. Now, or minus 2. Now we can substitute the value of c as minus 3, or minus 2 plus 3 equal to a. The value of a will be 1. We the positive a, it's greater than 0. As we know, the opening is upward, isn't it? So the opening is upward opening. So the value of a must be greater than 0, and it is greater than 0. So our equation will be, we have to put this value of a, b, c in equation 1. Okay. After now, equation 1 is keeping, it's just sitting silently now. Now it is in action now. Y is equal to 1. It is the value of a, and you can see minus 2 is the value of b, and minus 3 is the value of c. On simplification, y is equal to x square minus 2x minus 3 is the required equation of parabola. Is the required equation of parabola. We can now move to another slide. Now try these equations. Now we have to find the equation of parabola. You can see there are 3 figures, and you can see the answer. For each equation there is an answer. Now you can do exactly like equation 1, or you can opt for, or you can go for y is equal to this equation, a x minus h whole square. It is easy. You will get the required answer, required equation very easily, with not much work have to be done. Okay, you don't have to do that. And I have done this in this technique. Later on the same this video, you are going to see I have done questions in this technique also. Okay, in each and every cases, we know the vertex. You can see this is the vertex here. This coordinate is 3, 1. 3, 1 is the vertex here, and here it is 0, 0 is the vertex. Now we can use the vertex is the value of h and k. Okay, vertex is the value of h and k, and x and y. For x and y, you can take any passing points. Any passing point. You can see this is the passing point. isn't it? Here are many numerous passing point. Then you can easily get the equation of parabola. After we have the value of a, h and k, then we have the equation of parabola. So try this, or you can do exactly like example 1. Okay, let's move to another slide. It is our example 2. Here, what we are going to do is we are going to draw the graph of given a graph of parabola, and we have to mention the characteristics also. By mentioning the characteristics, solution: given equation of parabola, y is equal to x square plus 2x minus 3 is the equation of parabola, and we have to compare this. This is our equation 1 with the standard equation of parabola, comparing with y. So we get the value of a as 1, b as 2, and c as minus 3. We get a as 1, b is 2, and c is minus 3. Now characteristics are, it is very easy to get the characteristic. As you can see, a is positive value. It is positive, that means parabola opens upward. Now that will be our first characteristics. A greater than 0 or positive, so the parabola opens upward. The opening is towards upward direction. First characteristics. Now second, y-intercept of the parabola. Let's find the y-intercept of the parabola. For that we have to substitute the value of x at 0. Or you can directly write here, you can see c is equal to minus 3. C is the y-intercept of parabola. When x is equal to 0, y equal to minus 3. That means value of c is the y-intercept. Therefore, y-intercept is minus 3, and point of intersection of y-axis and parabola is 0, minus 3. Now vertex, we know the formula to find the vertex. Here we have to substitute the value of a, b, and c. A, b, and c. Let's substitute the value of a, b, and c. So we have substituted the value of a, b, and c on their respective variable, and finally we get minus 1 comma minus 4 as vertex. Now our vertex, our turning point of parabola, is minus 1 comma minus 4. It lie on third quadrant. Equation of line of symmetry. Now these 4 characteristics will be enough. X is equal to minus b by 2a, that is value of b is 2 and value of a is 1. So equation of line of symmetry is x is equal to minus 1. Now this is our equation of line of symmetry. Now we have to draw table. We have to construct a table for x and y. To plot this parabola in a graph, we need points, isn't it? It is not a curve sketching, it is a drawing. So for drawing we need points. Okay, we have to take points, we have to find points, and we have to draw with free hand without using scale. Now we have to find at least 7 points. Okay, minimum 7 points are needed. So here x and input, and here output. We need minimum 7 points. From these 7 points we know 1 point. We know the 1 point, and that 1 point is the vertex. Okay, vertex will be middle. Now you can see there are 7 boxes are remaining, 7 columns are remaining. In out of these 7 columns, the middle one, this one is for vertex. It is always for vertex. Middle one is for vertex. So first point we know, out of 7 points we know 1 point. We have to find the rest of the 6 points. First point is our vertex, so let's substitute the value here, that is minus 1, and we are going to get minus 4. So this is our vertex, we can write it. Now what will be in this side, and what will be the values of x in this side? You cannot choose the values randomly. We have to choose by a process. Here the value will increase, will be greater than -1. It will increase from -1. In this side it will decrease from -1. So increase, that is 0, isn't it? If you see a number line, you can get the idea from the number line. Okay, this is the number line. Here it is -1. In the right side of it will be 0, it will be 1, it will be 2. In the same number line, in the left side it will be -2, it will be -3, it will be -4, and so on. Okay, so you can get the idea of those value of x from the number line also. So it's 0 there, and 1 greater than 1 will be 2. In this way, -1, 0, 1, 2. You can see in the number line -1, 0, 1, and 2. In the left side of -1, it will be -2, -3, and -4. -3 and -4. One value lesser than the other preceding value. Now we have to substitute the value of x as 0. If we substitute the value of x as 0, then we get -3. Isn't it? We get -3. We have already see 0, -3. And if we substitute the value of x as 1, what we get, you can check here, isn't it? It will be 1 square. You can do rough calculation like this for each and every value. It is 1 will be 1 square plus 2.1 minus 3. Now the value will be okay, sorry, okay, I made one mistake. So after we get the value of this one 0, then we have to go for this one again, just to see the if the value of y are equal or not. Okay, let's see. Let's go for -2. Now instead of -1, it will be -2 here, -2. Now the value will be 4 minus 4 minus 3. So we get the value as -3. So here also -3. So these two values must be equal. Okay, so that we get a equal couple, like in this way. It will be the, see here, this endpoint must be equal. So that will be equal only if these values are equal. If we plot the graph of these values, then we get a parabola in this set, equal set. The endpoints will be equal. They will be equal here. Okay, endpoints are equal. Endpoints must be made equal of the parabola. These endpoints will be equal. So now we can substitute the value of x as 1. We get the value of y as 0. You can try yourself and doing really quickly. And 5, then we get 5. So we need a graph to plot in graph. Let's see a graph. Now this is our graph, and let's draw the axis, and let's name it x o x prime, y o y prime, and scale. Okay, scale is 1 square box is equal to 1 unit. 1 square box is taken as 1 unit. Now let's plot first this point. This point we are going to plot this point, that is -1, -4. It is in third quadrant, and see -1, -4 is right here. You can see here it is -1, -4. So let's write that -1, -1. You don't have to write the rest of the points. Simply vertex, mention vertex. And next point we have to draw the graph of this 0, -3. So go in the order as I have done. Okay, follow me. Just simply follow me. And 0, -3. It is that point is 0, -3. And now we have to draw this point, -2, -3. Okay, -2, -3. This is -2, -3. Now we have to draw this. We have to plot this point 1, 0. See, 1, 0 is there. Now we have to plot this point -3, 0. -3, 0 is right there. Here you can see -3, 0. And finally 2, 5. 2, 5. And another it is -4 and 5. Same. -4 and 5. Now with the help of freehand, okay, simply freehand, we have to draw without using scale. Take a pencil and simply draw. with free hand. In this way. Now this is the graph of quadratic equation, or you can say function y equal to x square plus 2x minus 3. Now as we have discussed the characteristics, we have to show the equation of line of symmetry also, and it is x is equal to minus 1. We have the minus 1 here, right here. So let's draw a line from there. The green line you can see, that is x is equal to minus 1. So this concludes the entire example 2, and I think it is very easy. Okay, it must be easy. Okay, okay, next example. Example 3. Draw the graph of parabola. Again, we are going to draw the graph of parabola, mentioning the characteristic, but you can see the parabola is different. The parabola here, B is missing, isn't it? B part is missing. We have C and A. Solution. Given parabola is y is equal to 4x square minus 5. Comparing with y equal to ax square plus bx plus c, we get value of a as 4, b is 0, we don't have b, and c is minus 5. Now remember the characteristics. Okay, you have to remember the characteristics. In characteristics, I forgot the number. When b is equal to 0, we get the vertex at 0 comma c, isn't it? 0 comma c is the vertex when b is equal to 0. And the equation of line of symmetry is y-axis. So two characteristics we can write easily. Okay, characteristics are, now the first one will be regarding the opening, and which is a equal to 4, that is positive value of a, there is positive value, so the opening will be upward, we know from the characteristics. And vertex you can write directly. Okay, it's 0 comma c, as b is missing, remember the characteristics. Otherwise, if you totally forgot also, don't worry, use the formula and you will get the same vertex. Okay, b is equal to 0, so the vertex lie on y-axis, as we know from the characteristics, and value is 0 comma c, that is 0 comma minus 5. Now from this minus 5 also we can find another characteristic. That means the vertex is 5 unit below the origin. You can write that one also. Okay, vertex is 5 unit below the origin on y-axis. But our next characteristics is c is equal to minus x, so the vertex is 5 unit below the origin. Okay, c is equal to minus 5, so the vertex is 5 unit below the origin. This is our third characteristics. Fourth, equation of line of symmetry we don't have to find. Okay, we can directly write axis. The y-axis is the equation of line of symmetry. If you forgot the characteristics, then you can use the formula and you will get the same answer. X is equal to 0, that means y-axis is our equation of line of symmetry. Y-axis is our line of symmetry, and x is equal to 0 is equation of line of symmetry, y-axis. Let's draw the table for x and y, like in previous example. 7 points are needed. One of the point is vertex. First x and y. Now here middle point will be the vertex. There are 7 columns remaining, and the fourth column, that is middle column, is for vertex. 0 and minus 5 is vertex. Minus 5 is vertex. Now we have to take the value greater than 0 in this side, less than 0 in this side. As I have already shown you in number line, you can take the help of number line. So in the greater side it will be 1, 2 and 3. and in the smaller side, leisure side, it will be -1, -2, and -3, -3, -1, -2, and -3. So now if we put the value of x as 1, we get the value of y as, you can try yourself, -1. If we put the value of x as 2, we get the value of y as, okay, sorry, we have to plot this one, okay? We have to find the values just to see this value of y output are equal or not. See, -1, -1, they are equal. Now if we take the value of 2 as input, that is value of x, then we get the value of y as 11. And if we take the value of x as -2, we get the same value, 11. If we take 3, then we get 31. If we take -3 also, we will get same 31. So we need a bigger graph of it because the value of y is much too bigger. So I have arranged that bigger graph. In computer you can do anything, isn't it? You can make the graph smaller, you can make the graph bigger, whichever you need, whatever you need you can do. So I have done, and I have taken the bigger graph. You can see it covers the entire breadth of the screen. Now axis, first we are going to name of the axis and the unit also. Don't forget to write unit also. Unit is square box. The box is not perfectly placed here, and you have to just use the scale and draw this box in the perfect way. Now this red color one is the unit. Is the unit is equal to 1 square, 1 unit. Okay, this small box, square box, is a 1 unit. We have considered that. Now we have to plot. First we start with vertex 0, -5, exactly there, yellow dot you can see, and next 1, -1, 1, -1, next this one, -1, -1. Okay, we have mentioned the vertex 0, -1. So next one is -1, -1, and the next is 211, 211. You can see 211 right there, and next will be -211. Next it will be 331. Okay, so value of 31 right there at the top, 331, and it will be -331. Now the graph of the parabola is narrower, isn't it? We are going to get the narrow. Why? Because you can see the value of a is 4. It's increasing, isn't it? It's bigger. It's the value we are encountering, the bigger value of a. So that's why the opening of the parabola is narrower. Now with the help of freehand, let's draw it slowly. Here, see, it is drawn with the help of freehand, so it is irregular. There you can see the curve irregular. Now this equation is y square, y equal to 4x square minus 5, and line of symmetry. Just we have to go for line of symmetry. Now you can see the green line on y-axis, that is line of symmetry. Now its equation is x is equal to 0. Equation is x is equal to 0. So we have completed everything related to example 3 also. We have drawn, we have done 2 and 3, and they are very important. If the question number 2 and 3 are asked in the examination, then they will add the mention the characteristic part also, because they will be asked in 5 marks question, or if they are asked in 4 marks as a 4 marks question also, they can ask characteristics. Okay, they can ask characteristics. Now let's move to another slide. Example 4. Draw the graph of given equation. So there are two equations, and you can recognize these equations. This is a quadratic equation, and this is a linear equation, isn't it? So we have to draw the graph of both quadratic and linear in a same graph paper. And don't forget that we are going to do this question with the help of graphical method and substitution method, two methods. and at the end I'm going to ask you which method would you prefer. Okay, which method you like, which method you find easier. Now see, the first one is a curve and second one is a straight line. Okay, now let's start. Quadratic equation, curve, parabola, and linear equation, straight line. A given equation of parabola is y is equal to x square plus 2 and b is missing. Don't forget that characteristic. You have to remember the characteristics. If you remember the characteristic, the solution will be easier. Now, while comparing, we get a equal to 1, b 0, and c 2. Isn't it? A here, coefficient of x square is simply 1, and this is c. Now, vertex is, as b is missing, then in this case it will be 0 comma c, isn't it? Vertex will be 0 comma c. So no need to substitute. If you know, if you haven't forgotten the characteristic, then you can directly write 0 comma c, that is 0 comma 2 is the vertex. Here also, by doing this also, we get same 0 comma 2. So we don't have to mention the characteristics. Okay, simply this much is enough. Vertex is enough because we need the turning point, we need that middle point. Okay, it is necessary. Table for x and y. Why it is shown here, I don't know. Okay, I think there is some mistake. It must be on another place. Okay, nevertheless, the correct, so you will get the correct solution. Now table is right here. Now x here and y here. Now vertex will be in the middle column here, 0 and 2, 0 and 2, 0 and 2. Now here, this side the value greater than 1, this side value lesser than, sorry, this side in right hand side value greater than 0 and in left hand side value lesser than 0. So greater than 0 is 1. You can take the help of number line, 2 and 3. In the lesser side, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 3. Now we are going to substitute the value of x in this equation. So if we substitute the value of x as 1, we get 3. And here now this one, minus 1 also we get 3. 2, it will be 6, minus 2 also 6, and 3 we get 11, and minus 3 also 11. So in graph, and now you can see the graph paper, and axis is there. Let's name them, and let's see the unit also. The square box is equal to 1 unit. Okay. Now first we have to plot vertex 0 to 0 to there, yellow dot you can see, and next we are going to plot 1 3. Next we are going to plot minus 1 3. Next we are going to plot 2 6. Next we are going to plot minus 2 6. Next we are going to plot 3 minus 1. Next we are going to plot minus 3 minus 3 11 minus 3 11. Okay, minus 3 11. Now we can draw with free hand. So this is the equation. Y is equal to x square plus 2. Y equal to x square plus 2. Now there is line also. Okay, equation of given line, and we have the equation for x. We have completed everything regarding parabola. Okay, here we don't have to discuss about the characteristic because it is different question. Okay, if it is written mention characteristic, only you have to mention the characteristic. Vertex is needed to plot the graph, so that's why we have found vertex. Now this is the line, and we have to make y alone. We can make y alone by taking the y to right hand side, Now we can substitute the value of x. Now here the table for x and y was missing. Now you can see that one, table for x and y. I think they got interchanged. Now here there is a table. We don't need more than 2 points. Simply 2 points. We have to find 2 points, and all those 2 points must be found. We must be found from here. This value of x. We have to substitute the value of x from here, and if we get the same value of y, then we will use that value here, x and y. Now first let's test with -3. If we put the value of x as -3 here, we are not going to get -11 as a value of y, so we will leave this. Let's check for -2. If we put the value of x as -2, we are not going to get -6 here. If we substitute the value of x -2 here in this x, then we are not going to get 6. Now -1 also we are not going to get 3, 0 also 2, 1. If we substitute the value of x as 1 here, then we are going to get 3. So our first point will be 1 comma 3. 1 comma 3. Okay, understand? The value of x will be picked from here. It will be selected from here. These x. And if we get the same value of y as in the parabola, then only that point we will consider to plot for line. So another value will be 2. If we put the value of 2, it will be 8 minus 1, 7. So we are not going to get 6. So another must be 11. Another must be 3. If we put the value of x as 3, 4 3 is 12. 12 minus 1 is 11. So we are going to get the value of y as 11. So our point will be 3 and 11. So see the points. These 2 points are there on parabola also. So we have to select only 2 points from the 7 points of parabola, which will satisfy the equation also. Okay, simple, very simple thing. Now 1 3. Let's plot 1 3. 1 3, that blue dot you can see, and 3 11, that dot. So with the help of the scale, now you can use the scale because it is a straight line. Now see here, this one is a line, and its name is y is equal to 4x minus 1. Okay, so can you see where parabola and line meets? Where parabola and line meets, because we are going to solve. Isn't it? Solve means we are finding the value of x, and graphically. First we are doing graphically where parabola and line meets. And these 2 points are, the first point is here. It is 1 comma 3, and second point is there 3 comma 11. We know already, isn't it? They meet at 1 comma 3 and 3 comma 11 because the point are selected from the table of parabola. So let's write in the language here. The parabola and the line intersect or meet at point these and these. Our solution will be only the value of x from these points. See, these points has x and y, but our solution will be only x. Only x. Okay, only x is the solution of this. These two equation combined together. X is equal to 1 and 3. So remember this, only x coordinate are the solution. Now, still there is remaining to do with substitution method. So let's move to another slide. Substitution method. A given equation of parabola is y is equal to x square plus 2, and given equation of line is 1, and given equation of line is 4x minus y is equal to 1. Now what we are going to do is we are going to make y alone. 4x minus 1 is equal to y. So in both equation there is y. So we can substitute the value of 1y on the another equation, putting the value of y from the equation 2 on 1. So this y of equation 1 will be replaced by 4x minus 1 is equal to x square plus 2 as it is. Now left hand side you can see there is nothing in the side, and all the values will be on right hand side. You can see by the color also their sign is changed. Or we can add these two values. It will be 3 Now it is a quadratic equation, we can factorize it. So let's find the value. So what will be in the middle here in the bracket? You can see it's left vacant for you to recognize. Here in the bracket it will be 3x plus 1. So let's open the bracket. How? You have learned in this thing in class 8, isn't it? Or 0 equal to x square. Let's open the bracket and sign will be changed. Okay, don't forget to change the sign here. This one, it is right here. Now there are 4 terms and we can take common from first 2 term. That is x will be common, x minus 3. Minus 1 is common, that is x minus 3. So x minus 3 and x minus 3, or 0 equal to x minus 1 and x minus 3. X minus 3 and x minus 1. And we have to do either or. Either x minus 3 is equal to 0, the value of x is 3. Do you remember the answer at the bottom of previous slide? That is 1 comma 3 is the answer. Okay, see, we have same answer, we have to get same answer, and we are getting same answer also. Same answer, isn't it? X is equal to 1. So x is equal to 3, x is equal to 1 is the solution by substitution method also. So which method do you prefer? Okay, that's up to you, which method you like. Okay, if it is given you have to draw with graphical method, then you have to draw graphical method. So you cannot say that okay, substitution method is easier, I will do with substitution method. No, you have to do by graphical method. Now try this 2a. Here you will get the question related to example 1 and 2. Mentioning the characteristics. So the questions, all the 4 questions, it is done as example 1 and 2. Sorry, 2 and 3, not 1 and 2, 2 and 3. And B, you have to solve by both method, graphical and by substitution method, and you can see the curve and lines will be given to you. Now there are total of 6 questions. You can do these questions very easily, you will be perfect. Okay, pause the video, you can do this, and let's move to another slide. Example 5. Now it is solved graphically. Simple question is solved graphically, and the question is given there: x square plus x minus 6 equal to 0. Now see the process. Solution: given quadratic equation, it is a quadratic equation. Now we are not calling it a function because there is only input, no output. And x square plus x minus 6 equal to 0. Now this equation can be written as, see, we can keep this x square on the left hand side and we can take these x and minus 6 on the right hand side, or x square equal to 6 minus x. Okay, these two value moves to right hand side. Now let's suppose these are y equal to y. See, that means 6 minus x is also y and x square is also y. So we can write then y equal to x square, this is our first equation, and y is equal to 6 minus x, it is our next equation. So we have line also, we have curve also. See, line and curve we have done that in example 4, isn't it? Same means this example 5 is example 4. Now given equation of parabola, this is the equation of parabola, isn't it? This is a quadratic equation, quadratic function. So this is, and as B and C are missing, remember the characteristics. Remember the characteristics. B and C are missing. If B and C are missing, then the vertex lie on origin. Comparing with this, okay, B and C are missing. That means value of B and C will be 0, 0. The value of A is 1. B and C is 0, 0. So our vertex is, if you forgot the characteristic also, you can apply the formula and you will get same result 0 comma 0. Here I have written 0 comma 0 directly. So vertex is 0 comma 0, and table for x and y. In table for x and y, let's see here. Now x and y, and vertex in the middle, 0 and 0. Now here the value will be a greater value than 0. That will be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Here it will be lesser value. It will be greater value than 3 in the right hand side. Lesser value, greater value than 0 on the right hand side, and greater value than 0 on the right hand side. Lesser value than 0 on the left hand side. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Now, if we put the value of x as 0 on this equation here, then we get the value of y as 1. And if we put 2, we get 4. And if we put minus 1 also, we are going to get 1. If we put 2, 4, and minus 2 also 4, 3 also, 3, 9, and minus 3, 9. So this is the table for parabola x and y. In graph, we need a graph paper. Okay, graph paper is there for us. An axis, right axis also, name of axis, and scale. Square box is equal to 1 unit. 1 square box is taken as 1 unit. So let's first plot origin 0, 0. Then we are going to plot 1 comma 1. You can see with the yellow dot here, 1 comma 1, and then minus 1, 1 there, and 2, 4, 2, 4, and now minus 2, 4, and 3, 9, and minus 3, 9. So let's join with the help of freehand. Okay, in this way you can join, and this is the equation of parabola y equal to x square. Now we have line also, don't forget line. Okay, line is there. Y is equal to 6 minus x is the line. A given equation of line is 6 minus x, y equal to 6 minus x. Now we can draw the table for this also. In table for x and y, and only 3 column table, 3 column, 2 rows. First column is for x and y, x and y. Now we have to pick the values from here, isn't it? Value of x will be picked from here, and only those value of y will be selected which are equivalent to the values in this table. So first, if we try a minus 3 here, then what we are going to get? Just try minus 3. Y equal to 6 minus and minus 3. We get 9, isn't it? So our first point is minus 3, 9. First point is, okay, I have taken 2. There is 2 also. If we put the value of x as 2, then we get the value of y as 4. So we can take 2 here. So 2 and 4, and another will be minus 3, 9. Minus 3, 9. Okay. So 2 and 4, we have to plot first 2 and 4. That is 2 comma 4, and that is minus 3 comma 9. So use the scale and draw the line. This is y equal to 6 minus x line. So we can clearly see the parabola and line intersect or meet at these 2 points, 2 comma 4 here, and minus 3 comma 9. Minus 3 comma 9. So let's write in language, and that's our solution. Okay, we have real quickly we have completed this example. Here the parabola and the line intersect at 2 comma 4 and minus 3 comma 9. The solution is only the x value, okay, x value 2 and x value minus 3. So our answer is x is equal to 2 comma minus 3 is our answer. Now there are questions for you to practice. So try this. You have to do graphically all these questions. Okay, these questions you can easily do with the help of example 5. Let's move to another example or whatever it is in the next slide. Example 6, yes, there is example. This is a long question, can be asked as a 5 marks question. The graph of the function fx is equal to ax square plus bx plus c has vertex at this. Now, the shortcut method which I was talking in while doing example 1 is this one. Okay, just observe it carefully, learn it properly. Now, vertex, there is vertex. Vertex is mentioned here, and there is a one point which passing point. So, in this case, we are going to use another equation, not that is standard equation. We are going to use the equation of parabola, but in the form vertex form. Now, vertex h comma k is equal to 1 comma minus 1. That is value of h is 1 and k is minus 1. An equation of parabola in vertex form is, you know that y is equal to a x minus h whole square plus k. Now, h and k, value of h and k can be substituted. This is equation 1. Putting the value of h and k in equation 1, you can easily put the value of x, y equal to a bracket x minus 1 whole square plus, that is minus 1, k, value of k is minus 1. So on simplification, what we get is a x minus 1 whole square plus minus 1. Now this parabola 2, which is 2, passes through point this. That means this point must satisfy the equation 2. Parabola 2 passes through point this comma 2. That is, value of x will be substituted with 2 and y 3. That is right. That is now value of y is 3 equal to a. X is 2. 2 minus 1 whole square minus 1. So how easily we get the value of a. And we get the equation also. Very easily we can get the equation. If you have a clear idea about the vertex, then you can simply use this method. Okay? It is 4 equal to a. Now putting the value of a, h and k on equation 1, or we can put the value of a on equation 2 also. So we get y is equal to a is 4 bracket x minus 1 whole square minus 1. Now let's expand this x minus 1. Let's expand, and we can expand it by with the help of formula a minus b whole square, or 4 a minus b whole square, it is x square minus 2ab plus b square. So you can see 2ab is 2a, b square is 1. Now let's open the bracket. Y is equal to 4 x square minus 8x plus 4 minus 1. So we can subtract these two values of same color. Y is equal to is a required equation of parabola plus 3. See how easily we found the equation of parabola. This one is the equation of parabola 3. Which is required equation of parabola. Now comparing this equation 3 with the standard equation y equal to x square, because we have to find the value of a, b and c. Only we have the value of a, b and c. To find the value of b and c, we have to compare with y equal to ax square plus bx plus c. Value of a is 4, b is minus 8 and c is 3. So we have the value of a, b and c also. Now we have to find the value here. Show in graph. We have to show in graph. For that we don't have the space right here, so I have to move to another slide. And remember the equation y is equal to 4x square minus 8x plus 3, and we have to find the vertex also. Do we have to find the vertex? No, we don't have, because 1 comma minus 1 is the vertex. Now same question, we need that question. Now given equation of parabola is y square. Remember that y square equal to 4x square plus 8x minus 8x plus 3. Now vertex, we know the vertex, that is h comma k is 1 comma minus 1. Now we have to draw table, isn't it? So table for x and y here, it must be written, but it will be okay, it will be written afterward. You will see x and y. Now first vertex in the middle here, 1 and minus 1. Now the greater value will be taken in this side, that means 2 and 3 and 4. Lesser value in this side, left side, that will be 0, -1 and -2. So if we use the value of x as 2 here, right here, then you get the value of y as 3. Now here, if we use the value of x as 0, you get the value of y as 3. Now in the same way, if we use plus 3, then 15 will, and if we use -1, then 15, 4, then 35. Now you need a bigger graph, and -2, 35. So now table for x and y, there's some mistake. And in graph, we need a bigger graph, same bigger graph. Now let's draw the axis with name also. You can see now it is here. It must be like this. Okay, this square box is equal to 1 unit, and first point will be our 1 minus 1 point. This one, 1 minus 1 vertex point, is right there. Yellow dot you can see in the graph. 2 3 there, and 0 3 there, 350 there, and -115 there, 445 right there. Now graph is narrower because the value of a is bigger. Okay, a is bigger. So with the help of freehand, we can draw this graph. Now this completes our solution. Okay, y equal to, this is the graph of y equal to 4x square minus 8x plus 3. Simple, isn't it? Now vertex point, we are going to mention the vertex point also, 1 comma -1. Now try this 4. Here you will see two questions, same sort of question, very exactly similar type of question. So let's move to another slide, slide number 20. Some very important 1 marks question. Okay, we are going to discuss 1 marks question, very important 1 marks question, and write a complete equation, quadratic equation having the constants p, q and r. Now quadratic equation is in the form x square ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, isn't it? So instead of a, we are going to replace with p, a, b, q and r, c. So our answer will be px square plus qx plus c. Okay, I think you understood it. Now second question, now what is the condition coordinates of vertex of parabola when whose equation is this? Now you have to simply write vertex is, short question means you have to write directly that formula to find the vertex is minus h comma k is minus b by 2a upon 4ac minus b square by 4a. Now this is the answer. Now next question is, what is the coordinate of vertex of parabola whose equation is this? Now b is missing, that means it is 0 comma c. These answers you have to, if you have understood the characteristics easily, if you have completely, then you can directly write vertex is equal to 0 comma c. All these answers are from characteristics. What is the coordinate of vertex of parabola whose equation is this? Now coordinate of vertex, it is from characteristic, it is vertex is h comma k equal to 0 comma 0. And what is the equation of line of symmetry of parabola whose equation is y equal to x? Now equation of line of symmetry, x is equal to minus b by 2a. b by 2a. What is the equation of line of symmetry of parabola whose equation is this? Now b is missing, that means vertex lie on y-axis, and our y-axis is our equation of line of symmetry, x is equal to 0. Okay, that is the equation, and y-axis is the line of symmetry. What is the equation of line of symmetry of parabola whose equation is y is equal to x square minus 2x? Answer, we know the value of A is 1 and B is minus 2. So we have to use the value of A and B as C is missing, and we have the formula x is equal to minus B by 2A, which is equal to B. Value of B is minus 2 and A is 1, which is 1. That is, therefore x is equal to 1 is equation of line of symmetry. Okay. Now these are very short questions of 1 marks. Let's move to another slide. Continue. What does C represent in the quadratic equation ax square plus C represent y-intercept? Okay, C represents y-intercept. You can write C represents y-intercept made by parabola. Now in fx is equal to ax square, fx, don't get confused, it is y. Okay, fx is always equal to y. We have read in function. Write the vertex and equation of line of symmetry. Vertex is 0, 0, isn't it? Vertex is 0, 0, and line of equation of line of symmetry is x is equal to 0 because it lie on y-axis. Vertex lie on y-axis, that means x is equal to 0 is the equation of line of symmetry. What does h comma k? Next question. Okay, you can't see it. What does x comma k represent in the equation? This is the equation of parabola and the vertex form. So h comma k represent vertex. H comma k represents vertex, coordinates of vertex of parabola. For what value of a the parabola given by this opens upward? For the positive value of a. For the positive value of a, you can write for positive value of a the opening of the parabola is upward. For what value of a, positive or negative, in the quadratic equation, this the vertex point is minimum. Vertex point is minimum only when the parabola, the curve, turns upward, isn't it? So for the curve to turn upward, value of a must be positive. So answer is positive value of a. Listen carefully, I am going to tell you again. For the vertex point to be minimum, the curve must turn upward direction. Okay, it must have upward opening. To get the upward opening of the curve, value of a must be positive. So for only positive value of a will gives the vertex point as minimum. Vertex point will be minimum only if the value of a is positive. What will be the opening of parabola, wider or narrower, when the positive value of a increases? If the value of a increases, it will be narrower. Okay, there will be narrower opening. When the positive value of a increases, then it will be narrower opening. If the value of a decreases, the opening will be wider. Which of the equation, these two equations, there are two equations. Now value of a is 2, value of a is 3. Now if the value of a increases, then the opening will be narrower. So to get the wider opening, value of a must be smaller. So the first curve y equal to 2x will have wider opening in comparison with y equal to 3x square. The equation y equal to 2x square will be wider opening. Will have wider opening because if the value, it's the comparison, isn't it? Comparison between two graphs. So the first one has value of a as 2 and second one has value of a as 3. So in comparison to the next one, the first one will have the wider opening. Which equation? This or this has Skinner curve, means smaller opening, narrow opening. So the value, this one, it is greater than this one. So the first equation will have the Skinner curve, thin curve, narrower curve. The equation y equal to 5 will have wider opening. Sorry, it must, I have copied the same answer from here. Will have Skinner curve. Will have Skinner curve, right? And Skinner curve, S-K-I-N-N-E-R, Skinner curve. R-P. Okay. As the value of a increases, the curve will be narrower or skinnier. What is the minimum value of this one? Minimum value. Now minimum value will be 0. If we draw the graph, now this graph you can see definitely has the vertex on the origin, so the minimum value will be 0. Maximum value infinity. Okay. Now let's move to another slide. Okay, these are the questions, very important short questions. Very short question in fact. 2 marks question, very important 2 marks question. From 1 to 2, we have moved to 2 marks question. So very important 2 marks questions. Now first question, you can see what will be the points of intersection of the curve. This is very important. Now there will be solution of this question, not a one line answer. Okay, here we have the curve, that is fx is equal to x square minus 5, and we have another fx is equal to 4, that is actually a constant function, and you can say it is a line also. It is a constant function, fx is equal to 4. Both are y, isn't it? Fx is y, both are y, so we can compare them. This is 1 and 2. From 1 and 2 we can compare them. That means x square minus 5 will be equal to 4. Both are the value of y. X square minus 5 equal to 4. 5 goes to right hand side, it will be 9. You can see the 9, and we get the two values of x, plus and minus value. And x is equal to plus minus 3. Okay, now the point of intersection of curve, there will be 2 points, that is first one will be 3 comma 4. So r 3 comma 4 is the first one, minus 3 comma 4 is the second one. So we have the value, two values of x, isn't it? Plus and minus. That's why we have 2 points of intersection. Now try this. 4. 3 questions are there. Without drawing graph, find the vertex of parabola. This one. You can easily compare this. You can write this equation in this form: x square plus 4x. If you are confused, then it is x square plus 4x is equal to y, or we can equal to y equal to this one. Okay, you can write this proper form. So as the a is negative, you can see a is negative. Now the curve will open downwards. Now write the standard equation of parabola, that is y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c is the standard equation of parabola, and you can find the vertex by comparing with the standard equation. And write the equation of parabola in the vertex form. You also you can write and find the vertex. You can find the vertex easily with the help of formula. Okay, so these are the easy 3 questions. Find the equation of parabola given alongside. There is a figure, you can see. There is a figure, and we know the vertex. Simply, the simple figure is given, and we have to find the equation of parabola. We are doing this with a short method. Okay. The standard equation of parabola is see, it passes through origin. Now, just focus here. It passes through origin. That means our standard equation of parabola. This is the standard equation of parabola. But as it passes through origin, our standard equation of parabola will be different. See the origin here. The curve, or you can say vertex, is right at the origin. And we have another point. Let's pick that point. Only 2 points are enough to find the equation of parabola if we have the vertex. Now there is another point also, 2 comma 4 also, but we only need 1 point. Now remember characteristic 7. In characteristic 7, what we have discussed is that if the parabola passes through origin, or if it passes through origin and plus another thing also, it may pass through origin. But the main point is vertex must lie on the origin. Vertex must lie at the origin. So if vertex lie at the origin, the value of b and c will vanish. The value of b and c will be 0. And our standard equation takes the form y equal to ax square. Our actual standard equation of parabola will be y equal to ax square. Now with the help of this equation we can easily find the equation of parabola. This is our first equation, and since the parabola one passes through any point, you can take this point also, that is the value of x and y, x and y. It is 4 equal to a x square, that is 2 square, 4 equal to 4 and 4 got cancelled, a equal to 1. So 1 is equal to a. Now putting the value of a here, we get the required equation of parabola. Putting the value of a in parabola 1, we get y equal to 1 into x square, that is y equal to x square is the required equation of parabola. See how simple it is. Now try these questions, self practice, exactly similar type of question. And if you are this 4, this figure is for equation 4, it is for equation 4. And if you are confused with equation 3, equation number 3, sorry, the parabola of a quadratic equation is symmetric with y-axis. That means line of symmetry, x is equal to 0 is the equation of line of symmetry. And if passes through this, that means, see, it is symmetric with y-axis means vertex. This is the vertex. It is not mentioned in the question, but you have to understood that this is the vertex. As why we understood that it is a vertex, because equation of line of symmetry is y-axis. That means x is equal to 0 is equation of line of symmetry. That means vertex lie on y-axis, and where vertex exactly lie on origin. It cannot lie any other point on y-axis and pass through origin also. Okay, that is impossible. So vertex is 0, 0, and the rest of the step will be same. Sorry. Another question will be solved. It is solved for you. Find the equation of parabola given alongside. This is the equation of parabola, and for this solution, let's see the solution. It's given in the question. This entire graph is given in the question, and we have the value of c right here. This is the value of c. So this is the value of c. We already have the value of c, and vertex. You can see the vertex lie on y-axis. That means it's easy now. Okay, the standard equation of parabola is the standard equation, you can see, is y is equal to ax plus b. So this c. Now remember for characteristic 6, in characteristic 6, now what we have discussed is if the vertex is c unit above the origin, if the vertex is c unit above the origin, then for those kind of quadratic equation, b will be missing, and that will only be possible when b is equal to 0. So, and it will be replaced by plus 2. Okay, because the value of c is plus 2. So the quadratic equation will take this form. As b is equal to 0, as the vertex lie on the y-axis, that means b is equal to 0. And it is c unit above the origin, also that the value of c will be 2 units. So our equation will be this. It is our first equation. And since the parabola 1 passes through the point, we have 2 points, so you can use any point, 1, 3, x and y will be replaced by, and y with 3 and x with 1, and plus 2 also, don't forget that. 3 minus 2 is equal to, so 3 minus 2 is 1, 1 is equal to a, and putting the value of a, we get y is equal to 1x square plus 2, which is y equal to x square plus 2 is required equation of parabola. So you have to remember the characteristic. If you remember the characteristic, then it will be very, very easier. Now this is the vertex, isn't it? This is the vertex. It is 0, 2. So b part is missing. So we have to suppose in the same way. If we suppose in the same way, then we don't have to worry about finding the value of b, what will be the value of b, and we end up doing with a long process. So let's move to another slide. Find the coordinate of the points P and Q from the equation of parabola given alongside. Now, parabola is there, and the P and Q, these 2 points are on equation of parabola is also given. P and Q are 2 points which are on x-axis. That means value of y will be 0. Okay. If the points are on x-axis, then there won't be any value. Then the value of y will be 0. So same concept we are going to use. The given equation of parabola, which is y is equal to x square plus 4x minus 5, and let's write on language, that is, this is the equation 1. Since points P and Q lie on x-axis, their y component, that their y part, that's their y coordinate, will be 0, that is y equal to 0. So putting the value of y on equation 1, so 0 will be x square plus 4x minus 5. Now we have to factorize. It is a quadratic equation. We can easily factorize this equation. 0 is equal to, and something will be in the middle bracket, it will be 5 minus 1, 5x minus 1x. So let's open the bracket. Now we can take common from first to x is common, from this first to x is common. So x plus 5 will be remaining, and from here minus 1 is common, x plus 5 is remaining. So let's move forward. That will be 0 is equal to x plus 5 and x minus 1. So either or, x plus 5 is equal to 0, x is equal to minus 5, value of x is minus 5, or x minus 1 equal to 0, the value of x will be 1. Now so points P and Q will take these value of x minus 5 and 1. So P is on the negative side, so the coordinate of point P will be minus 5 comma 0, and the coordinate of Q will be 1 comma 0. As these 2 points lie on x-axis, their y component will be, y part will be, output part will be, part will be 0, y part will be 0, 1. Okay, now let's move to another slide. Some very important 4 marks question for 4 marks. Now find the equation of parabola in following cases. You can see the figure here. There are total of 6 figures, and each and every figure there is a vertex. Okay, so you don't have to worry about doing these equations. As there is vertex and passing point, you can easily find the value of x. Now do exactly like example 6 up to equation 3. Up to equation 3 will be enough. After that you don't have to proceed. So next slide. Try these 4. There are questions for you. A long question for 5 marks question here, 1 and 2. 2, I think there is. I don't think there is any problem. These are characteristics, and they are not written as characteristics. They are asked in a question. These are characteristics. Okay, vertex. So you can easily find direction of opening as 1. This is 1, so it is positive upward direction. You can find the equation of line of symmetry by using the formula. Point on y-axis, that is y-intercept. Also, you can easily find. So 2 number you can do easily, and 1 number also we have already done. So you have to draw the graph. You can see b is missing, means our graph will be in this shape like this. It will be like this, and these 2 points you can easily find these 2 points in a graph. So these 2 points will be on the parabola itself. Okay, I have told you that it will be on the parabola. So maybe it may be here or it may be here. Okay, randomly I am assuming it. So if we join, then they will intersect at same these 2 points. Okay, if they are not in the parabola also, if they are outside of the parabola also, if you use a scale and join these 2 points, you will easily find the meeting point of line and chord. Simply you have to write that one. So let's move to another slide. Cubic function. Now 2 more slides are remaining, and they include cubic function. Now we have completed, we have discussed about, we have done exercise about quadratic function. Now it is cubic function. Now definition, you can see a function of the form y is equal to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, a not equal to 0. If a is equal to 0, then it will be a quadratic equation. Okay? So don't forget, a must not be equal to 0. Where a, b, c, d are constant values, it's called a cubic function. Now definition can be asked, and examples you can see. And from these two examples, you can see the graph of first example. This is the graph of first example. The cubic function look like this one. So here in the first example, value of b, value of c, and value of d is 0. So it will passes through origin. So you can see it passes through origin, like in quadratic also. Okay, quadratic. So key points which we have to notice, we have to keep in mind, to be noticed. Now d is the y-intercept. Okay, this value d is the y-intercept. Here value of d is 0 in this curve, so it passes through origin. Now 2, if the curve passes through the origin, see in the figure, then values of b, c, d equal to 0, which I have already told you. Function takes the form. Now function takes the form y is equal to ax cube only. Ax cube. If the curve passes through origin, then all the values a, b, c, b, c, d will be 0. If it passes through origin, then it takes the form y equal to x cube. Now remember this. If the value of a increases, now same as in the quadratic, if it increases, the curve will be narrower, and vice versa. Okay, if it increases, now you can see here in this figure. Now red color, for red curve, the equation is this. It says the value of a 5. For blue one, for green, blue one, the blue curve here, it is a blue curve, y equal to x cube. Its equation is x cube. And this is the red curve. Its equation is y is equal to 5x cube, is equal to 5x cube. Now you can see as the value of a increases, the curve will be skinner, or you can see narrower. If a is greater than 0 or positive, the curve, if a is positive, you can see 5, here it is positive value. A is, you can see 5, you can see 1, you can see 1 by 5 is also positive value. If the values are positive, then curve will lie on first and third quadrant. See, all this curve, this red color curve, this blue color curve, and this green color curve lie on first and third quadrant. They are on first and third quadrant. And you can see, if a is negative, then what will happen? If a is less than 0 or negative, then the curve will lie on second and fourth quadrant. You can see if the value of a is negative, you can here in this curve, it lies on second and fourth quadrant. And x-intercept of the curve are the roots of cubic equation. And remember this thing, the last point, roots of cubic equation we have done in chapter polynomial. Okay, chapter polynomial, we have solved cubic equation with the help of synthetic division and all those stuffs, isn't it? So that they are the root of cubic equation. If you want to find the value of x from the cubic equation, if you want to find the value of x, root of, then you have to do with that method, which we have done in polynomial chapter by using synthetic division and all those methods. So let's move to another slide, and last one, very last one. And there is one example for you, 7th example related to cubic function. The curve of the cubic equation passes through the origin, contains the point this. Find the cubic equation. Now solution is, it passes through the origin, and as the curve passes through the origin, the cubic equation takes the form y is equal to ax, isn't it? Now this equation, which is our equation 1, passes through the given point, and equation 1 passes through the given point. This x will be replaced by -4 and y will be replaced by 32. So this point must satisfy the equation. Simple meaning is, if point lie on the equation, then it must satisfy the equation. The value of x and y must take the value of point. So 32 equal to a into minus 4, that is minus 64. Now we can cancel it. 32 ones are 32 twos are, so value of a will be minus 1 by 2. Minus 1 by 2, 32 upon 64 is equal to a. The value of a will be minus 1 by 2. Now we can put the value of a as minus 1 by 2 on equation 1. We get, putting the value of a in equation 1, we get minus 1 by 2 x cube. Y is equal to minus 1 by 2 x cube. Now try this 7. This is related to, okay, let me end this question. Now this graph is for 3, and all questions are done exactly like example 7. And here 4 number and 5 number, see, minus 3 and minus 2 are the value of a. Which is bigger value? Bigger value is minus 2. A is the bigger, it is the bigger value, isn't it? It's the bigger, greater value than minus 3. So which curve has the wider opening? This one. Definitely this smaller one will have wider opening. If the value of a is less, then the curve will open wide. Now here it is, they are all positive values. So here the wider opening, to get the wider opening, this value will get wider opening. In first, this curve will get wider opening. Then second, this curve will get wider opening. Wider curve, not opening. Actually, in cubic equation there is no opening. Sorry. So wider curve. Okay, wider curve means they will be far away from the y-axis. The curve will be far away from the y-axis. So this concludes our quadratic equation and cubic equations, both the topic. And so hope you have learned whatever is to be learned. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me, and more video will follow on coming days. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and we will see you again and next video. We will meet again on next video.